Hey folks, David Stewart here. What I'd like to talk about today is what I call the farmer mindset, or the battle mentality, or battle mindset. This video is actually part 6 in a series, Keys to Prolific Creation, where I talk about 8 things that you can kind of work toward mastery on that will increase your productivity if you are a creative individual, whether that is in the visual arts, or it's in music, or it's as a writer. I think all of these things will boost your productivity and help you maintain a lot of output over time, which is what to me really creates a prolific individual, as you have a lot of output over time. And that over time part's really important for what I call the farmer mindset. The farmer mindset is basically, if you imagine yourself as a farmer on a farm, there's a bunch of things that have to happen at very particular times, or very bad things happen. If you have a mare that goes into labor, you need to be taking care of that horse, or very bad things are going to happen. You need to be sowing your crop at a really particular time. You need to be pruning your vines at a particular time. You need to be harvesting your crop at a really particular time. You can lose all of your investment if you let grapes sit on the vine too long, because they will become rotten from being overripe. You can lose all of your investment by not sowing early enough, or not sowing at the right time, and trying to put off the necessary things that have to be done in your farm. So that's really what the mindset sort of focuses on, is that you're not going to take a day off when something needs to get done. The farmer, it doesn't matter if he feels sick or sad or angry, or he just broke up with his girlfriend. There's things that have to get done on that farm, and he's going to go out and do them. What that means for you as a creative individual is basically you're not going to put off interacting with your process because something else is going on, like you're tired or sick. You're still going to get your however many words in that you need to get in, or more importantly, if you have set up a process that has to occur over a timeline, you're not going to let that timeline slip back. A lot of times delays in production happen with lots of things, and I think it's mostly a result of this sort of failure of this mindset, not pushing to get those things done when they have to get done, and sacrificing to make sure that they get done on time. If you set up a pre-order for your book and you don't ship that pre-order on time, it can be very, very bad for you, especially if you're trying to work with Amazon. That can take away your ability to set up pre-orders if you're an independent author, and that's really, really bad. You really like to have this pre-order so you can work the marketing angle before your work even hits shelves. So a lot of times, and I did this for my last book, I set up a pre-order before I'd actually finished the book. Before I'd finished the editing, I did the art basically halfway through the draft, and then had that set up for the pre-order. So I had a fixed timeline for when things needed to get done, and I never missed that timeline. Even if I could have been working all day, worked 16 hours some of those days when I was writing that initial draft, and I still managed to get all the words in, because I knew that if I let a day slip, then I'd be endangering my final goal. I'd be endangering the completion of my process. So if it meant I had to stay up a little bit later one night, that's okay. You don't want to stay up late every night, obviously, because that'd be bad for your health. But if you need to stay up one night and finish something that's important, that's moving you towards your goals, and you need to interact with your process, it's okay to do that. In fact, you ought to be able to do that. I also call this the battle mentality for some of those reasons. The way that you win a war is you win all the battles of that war. It's as simple as that. And if you approach any battle with the mindset that you're going to lose that battle and hopefully somehow still win the war, you're going to find that you lose a lot of battles, and then you eventually lose the war. Our ability to interact with our daily process usually is going to determine our ability to meet our goals. It's really, really important that we don't skip days unless we really, really, really have to. And in some cases, it's really good to interact with that process even if something bad happened, because that's a piece of normalcy. Like if you have a bad breakup, if you still go and do the thing that you do every day, go to the gym, eat your normal food, you find that normalcy helps restore a lot of emotional balance. So in a way, having that mindset can reflect back on you and make it help you with things that are events rather than things that are daily, by having that daily process in mind. Likewise, if I take it back to like fitness, your ability to succeed at a diet is directly proportional to your ability to have that diet work for you every single day. If you set up a diet, you'll have like a daily calorie thing, and then you'll be losing a certain amount per week based on that daily calories. And if you have a day where you're like, I'll just eat a couple donuts today and I'll blow the diet, and that doesn't, if you frame that correctly, it's like, well, I haven't lost the war. But it's really easy to do that day after day and to not sort of have the discipline and the will to make it happen. And indeed, I'll tell you that, like, having the farmer mindset is probably the worst thing of these 8 things that I am at. I've been in the past very, very willing to sort of let my process go, or to not get something done and to procrastinate on something because I was in a state where I didn't feel like doing it. You're tired, you're exhausted, you're like, I really, really just want to get some sleep, or, I really want a donut, so I'm need a donut. There was one point in my life where I lost about 70 to 80 pounds. I don't know how heavy I was at the beginning, because I didn't start weighing myself consistently till I was in on the weight loss. This is back when I lived in Vegas, and I had sort of all the time in the world to just go to the gym and work out, and I was really, really focused on a good diet. And my ability to lose that 70 pounds was a result of me sticking with it and not eating stuff I wasn't supposed to eat, except for the allotted amount of times that I said to eat it, so I could eat my cheat meal every week. And the amount of weight that I've gained back since then is also a result of my failure in this particular area, my failure to consistently win those battles every day, where I've eaten stuff I wasn't supposed to eat, or I've taken time away from exercise that I shouldn't have taken off. And over time, that adds up to weight gain, right? It takes a long time to put the weight on, it takes a long time to take it off. And it's a bunch of battles that you have to win if you want to stay consistent with that. And it's the same thing with being creative. If you establish like a daily thing that you're going to do, you need to make sure you're doing everything in your power to make sure that daily thing happens. And you also want to make sure you're not procrastinating on things that you have to get done. If you have to get artwork done on your album, then it has to get done. It doesn't matter what else you'd prefer to do. And in some cases, I discovered this, is that I would avoid doing the thing that I knew I needed to do, that was by doing something that I also didn't want to do, but which for some reason was slightly less pleasant. So if I didn't want to do something in particular, I'd go do the dishes, right? And you're like, well, I'm doing the dishes and I have to do the dishes. But it's like you're kind of avoiding the main thing that you need to do. You're not making the sacrifices in the battle to win the war. And that's what it is. You have to do the most primary thing. You have to keep your priorities in order and not shuffle those up. You got to win the battle. And that's kind of what that mindset is all about. So hopefully that sort of deeper explanation will give you a little bit more to look at. It doesn't mean you can never take a vacation. It doesn't mean you can never take a day off. It just means that you need to know, you're usually going to know. If you come home and you're tired, you need to get some practice done before you start watching TV, rather than get home, I'm tired, I'll play guitar tomorrow. I'm going to watch some Rick and Morty or something, right? And you're going to do that the next day too. And you're going to find that you do that pretty often. That if you allow yourself to do it one time, then it becomes really easy to make that your normal. And before you know it, you haven't accomplished anything because you haven't stuck to that daily process. So thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts down below, because I do appreciate those. And you can check out my books at dvspress.com. Check out my music at zulonline.com, zulonline.com. And the album will be coming out on the 31st of October on Halloween, with my skeleton friend over here. Please, if you're going to pre-order it, or if you want really high quality files, check out the Bandcamp page, zulonline.bandcamp.com, because then you can get the 24-bit files, which will sound better, obviously, because higher resolution is better. Thanks so much, and I hope you guys will have a great day.